All right, this is going to be a video for Notes 103. It might be the first video. It might be the entire video. I'm going to see how long this takes. If it starts getting too long, I'll go ahead and break the video up. We're going to keep talking about circles here. So I'm going to jump right into equation number 1. It says to write the equation of a circle that has a particular center, specifically the center of -3, 2, and a radius of 5. Now, unfortunately, I was mean to you, and I did say you need to put it in general form. But here's the deal. We're going to start in standard form, okay? And then we're going to convert from standard to general, because standard form is the one where we can just fit in the information for the center and the radius. So let's see, x minus something squared plus y minus something squared is equal to something squared. So let's see, from my center, I've got a -3h value, a 2 for a k value, and then my radius is 5. So that's the start for the standard form. Love that form, but because I said to put it in general form, I am going to zoom right in on this, and I am going to multiply this mess out. So x minus a -3 is actually x plus 3. And because we're squared, we're going to take it and multiply it times itself. And then y minus 2, again, we're going to multiply it times itself. And then 5 squared is 25. All right, we are going to fully distribute x plus 3 and x plus 3. When I mean fully distribute, that's x times 3, 3 times x, 3 times 3. Fully distribute. So x squared plus 3x plus 9, and then fully distribute for y. So y times y times -2, -2 times y, and -2 times -2, all the multiplications. So y squared minus 2y plus 4 equals 25. All right. General form is descending alphabetical order. So we're going to start with x squared and y squared, and the alphabetical part means x squared comes first. So x squared plus y squared. Then I'm going to pull the x terms. So plus 3x is going to be plus 6x. I'm going to grab the single y terms here. So minus 2y is minus 4y. And then I've got a positive 9 here, a positive 4 here, and a 25 on the other side of the equal sign. I don't like that. So I'm going to subtract 25 from both sides so I can get this equation equal 0. All right, so let's see what I got here. Positive 9 and then positive 4. That's going to make 13 when I combine it. 13 minus 25, I'm thinking that's -12. I want to double check that before I go off the rocker here. Let's see. Whoops. No, get me that calculator back. All right. Let me fight with the technology. I want to just squish it a little bit, not completely. All right, so 9 plus 4 minus 25. It is -12. All right. The math is mathing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and box up that final answer. That is the general form equation of a circle with a center of -3, 2, and a radius of 5. All right, problem number 2. Find the center of the radius of this circle with that equation. All right, so center here. It's going to be the ordered pair. Let's see, 2, -5. Be super careful with that sign for your k value. And radius is equal to, let's see, r squared is going to be 36, square root to both sides. R is just going to equal a 6 there. So center and radius, that question is done. Kind of nice when that happens. And then there's problem number 3. Problem number 3, I want the center and the radius, but I haven't given you the equation in the right format. All right. So let me make myself a little note here. I want the center, I want the radius. And I'm going to need to take some time and complete the square here. All right, we did this in the last video, but complete the square. You're going to group your x terms together. Okay, I'm going to leave myself just a little bit of space right there. And then I'm going to group my y terms together. Okay, I'm going to leave myself a little bit of space right there. And then that -18, that's the constant. I'm going to go ahead and fling that to the other side of the equal sign. When it moves to the other side, it does become positive. All right, so what is going to complete the square for x? Well, take -6 divided by 2 and square it. That's going to be positive 9. Add that to the right side as well. All right, keeps the balance of the equation. And then how about for y? We're going to do 10 divided by 2, square that. That's positive 25. Plus 25 here. All right. So this is going to be x minus 3 quantity squared. That's the whole reason we talk about completing the square, is you've now created an expression squared. That's the squared we're looking for. All right, so this is going to be plus, let's see, about y plus 5 squared. Okay, and then equals, I don't feel like doing that in my head, so let me grab back my calculator here. So let's do 18 plus 9 plus 25. That is 52. And I'm going to leave the calculator up here just in case I need it. All right. So the center here is going to be a positive 3 with a negative 5. All right. So let me go ahead and label that. So center, what did I say? Positive 3 and negative 5. Now the radius, again, not 52. It's going to be the radius squared is 52. So square root both sides. And unfortunately, 52, let's see, 2 times 26 and 2 times 13. Yeah, I don't need the calculator right now. Probably will later on. So that is 2 times 2 times 13. So that's going to be 2 root 13 because you have a pair of 2's. Okay, pair of 2's right there. Those get to escape the radical, and then what didn't escape, what didn't pair up does not escape the radical. So it's going to be 2 root 13 as my radius. So 2 root 13. All right, so there's the answer to question number 3. Let's roll on down to number 4 here. Find the circumference of a circle that has an area of. All right, so let's start off. We have area is equal to pi r squared. And I'm telling you that the area is 121 pi. So let's go ahead and set that equal. All right. I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by pi. So r squared is equal to 121. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. So r is equal to 11. And then I want to know the circumference. So circumference equal to 2 pi r. So that's going to be 2 times pi times my radius is 11. Let's see, 2 times 11 is 22 pi. Was this have units? I did. I give you inches. So this would be circumference is 22 pi inches. All right, area is the squared unit. Circumference is just the unit itself. All right, let's keep on going here. Number 5, find the area of the sector and length of the arc. All right, so let's do area of sector first, which means I'm going to start by finding the area of the circle. So area equals pi r squared. It's going to be pi times, my radius is 4 squared. Let's see, 4 squared is going to be 16 pi. And I'll go ahead and mark this feet squared. I do know the units for this one. So the area of the sector, let's see, the fraction is 35 over, whoops, right, the 360, there we go, times the full area of the circle. So area of the sector equals, now this is going to go in my calculator. And what I'm going to do is do the 35 over 360 times 16. All right. And that's going to get me some probably wacky decimal. So let's see, 35 over 360 times, what did I say, 16 there? Yeah, that's not the best decimal in the world. So I'm going to hit math and then enter. That will convert my last answer. So it's going to take this last answer, convert it into a fraction. So it's going to be 14 over 9 pi feet squared for the area of the sector. All right, if you needed to multiply that out and get a decimal, you are welcome to. It also asks for the length of the arc. So that's just going to be the distance from this point to this point. Let me change color here so it makes it a little different. This point to this point along the edge of the circle. And that edge of the circle, well, that's part of the circumference. I'm going to leave the calculator up here because I don't even need it. So circumference is equal to 2 pi r. So 2 pi times my radius is 4. Circumference is equal to 8 pi feet. Let me go ahead and do a little divider bar there. Okay, so then for my arc length, all right, so I'm going to do, write the word arc here. It's the same fraction, right? It's still 35 degrees out of 360 degrees, but now we're going to take this fraction times the circumference. I knew I was going to need the calculator, so we're going to do 35 over 360 times 8. Again, wacky fraction I'm not a huge fan of, or wacky decimal that I want the fraction of. So the arc length here is going to be 7 over 9 pi feet. And yes, these decimals or fractions are weird. It's okay. As I said, you could convert to a decimal if needed. Okay, but for me, I want these exact answers. So 14 over 9 pi feet squared for the area of the sector, and 7 over 9 pi feet for the length of the arc. All right, last thing here, I'm going to go ahead and obviously finish out this video here. Question number 6, part A, asks you to graph a circle. Now, what I would probably normally pretend to do is actually have a grid here. That would be my preference. I don't have one, so I'll just kind of do a quick hand draw. So let's talk center here. It's going to be 3, -2. And my radius is 2. So I'm just going to do a kind of quick sketch. All right. Snap those lines in straightish. There, good enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So we're going to go to +3 on x, -2 on y, and there is the center of my circle, okay? And then I want to count my radius, 2 up, 2 down, 2 left, 2 right, to find the edges of my circle. Now, because this is hand-drawn, this is not going to be absolutely perfect, right? My graph is not wonderful. You can already see, like, the center isn't quite in the center. But again, this is just to give us an idea. Woofed. I have some issues here with the drawing. Good enough. All right. So we've got the center in the right place here, right? +3, -2 for y. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Part B, unfortunately, right? I gave you this equation in general form. You need to put it in standard form. So let's complete the square for x. And then we're going to go ahead and complete the square for y. All right, little space here to complete for x. Let's see, plus y squared plus 4y. And I'm a visual person. If you've watched enough of my videos, you know I've said that before. Let's see, that constant is going to get moved to the other side, and it becomes positive. All right, to complete the square for x, we're going to do -2 divided by 2 squared. That's going to become +1. Add 1 to both sides. For y, we're going to take 4 divided by 2 and square that. That's +4 and +4. All right, so x squared minus 2x plus 1 would be x minus 1 squared. And then for y squared plus 4y plus 4, that's going to be y plus 2 squared. And then 4 plus 1 plus 4 makes 9. So after all this work, we have a set, whoops, write the word center. There we go, center at 1, -2, and your radius is 3. So quick sketch. All right. Good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So I want to go to the point 1. There's 1, -2. So 1, -2 is right there's my center. And then I need to count 3 left, up, down, all the ways. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 up. 1, 2, 3 down. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that's I definitely counted those out differently. All right, so circle, close. All right. If I want these circles to look a lot better than this, I will give you a grid. All right, so that's how you actually graph a circle. All right, so that is the end of this video. I think this was Notes 103. As always, please let me know if you have any questions or concerns, and I'll see you in the next one.